navigation and Pecos. On the navigation side, if we go into navigation, it will bring up the navigation screen. Maybe I didn't, oh, there we go. Okay, so we come to Nav and Go's main screen. So this is the main menu. You can see I've got a couple of different things to choose from. I have where to go, view map, feedback, resume, and then follow me. The dispatch one is grayed out. I'm not really sure what it does yet, but we're not using that. So basically it's going to work just like any other GPS system would work. To get out of this screen is probably the main key. I'm going to change the camera a little bit here so we get a better view. To get out of this screen, you need to press the bottom key on the left-hand side of the unit to get out and back to the main screen, as there is no home button available on the screen, as you can see. So, try to get in on that a little bit. Okay, so the Nav and Go works just like any other GPS. If I go where to go, I can search for locations, or I can go into recent addresses. If I go into recent addresses, it'll show me a list of different recent addresses I've been using to have it give me routes on. So you'll have all your recent ones that you've done in there recently. Also, if you go back, and I could just do a search. When you do a search, you can see here where it has the find is up on the top corner. And when you use the find, you can type in there anything, an address. You could also type in something like truck stop. We typed in Walmart and it found us a Walmart close by. So you can search by categories, or you can search by an address. So to type something into the address, we're going to need the keyboard again. So again, the keyboard is down here in the bottom corner. Right here is where I'm trying to point to. I'm just going to press that, and it's going to bring up the keyboard. You notice when it brought up the keyboard, it brought us out of the navigation. I don't understand why it's doing that, and I'll see if I can get that corrected. But if we go back into navigation, it'll bring us right back to where we were, and we have the keyboard up, so we're ready to type. So we can type an address like 122 space, change over to letters, Main Street. Kaukauna. Wisconsin. Not a whole lot of Kaukauna. So, and then we hit search right here. So I'm going to hit the search button, and it's going to go out and try to find addresses that match that 122 Main Street in Kaukauna. It will find, if the address isn't typed in exactly right, it should find similar addresses, and you should be able to choose the correct address that you were looking for. It's a little bit slow as I'm in the basement, and I probably do not have good cellular coverage down here. Okay, so it came up with 122 Main Avenue, Kaukauna. There was no Main Street, so that was the best choice that it found. So it's an avenue rather than a street. I can just go ahead and hit go, and Navigo will start routing me. So
asking for route.
I'll close my keyboard, and what they do is it asks for the route, and then it'll say it's building the route, and then it will try to it'll give us directions from our current GPS location.
Building route. Drive to route behind you on East College Avenue, or reroute from current location.
Okay, and you can see it brought up a map of where I'm at, and it highlights the route in green. So there I am, and it wants me to get out of my neighborhood and head out to the main truck route. So that's basically about how the GPS would work. It would work like any other GPS. Beginning to drive, we have a night mode down on the bottom, so you can change the color of the screen. It might be a little bit easier to read at night. You also can mute the instructions if you don't want to hear all the updates. Over here, you would have, once you start your route, it's going to tell you your next turn and then the turn after that in the order that they're coming. It's also going to give you the miles down to the 10th of a mile of how far away the turn is. You can also go to a safety view, which the safety view is going to, and again, I'm in my basement so I don't have connection here, but the safety view would just give you your turns without the map. If you go back to the navigation view, you can see also there's a preview button. You can hit preview, and preview is going to bring up the route that it wants us to take, and then it's going to, you have the start. We're on Green Bay Court and wants us to go to Green Bay Road and then to East Washington, and then you can press these down arrows here to get more information of all the turns that are coming up and the distances you're going to be traveling on there. So it's a way to preview your route before you start taking the route if you'd like to. You can also use the zoom in and zoom out button on the map. So if we want to zoom out a little bit so we get a better map, get a bigger picture of what we're trying to do, you just use that to zoom out. Okay. Another button on here as I'm going to go back to nav view. You can see over here there is a small button. I'll try to get that on the screen better. There's a small button here. It has a little flag on it. What that's used for is you can drop a flag on a route so that if you want to, it's going to flag that location of what when you just touch that. That's used for later on if you want to give feedback on the route. You can give some feedback and you could refer to that point of the route. So when you stopped and you thought that maybe there was a turn that was unsafe and maybe that you think the route should be changed, you could use that to flag parts of the route so that information could be sent back to Navigo and they can adjust the route. Then we also have a little notes button here, which if you hit notes it brings up that we're going to the address 122 Main Street, Main Avenue, Kaukauna. And I just close that. Okay, so that's a little bit about Navigo. You can play around with it and use it as much as you'd like. And you do have some options over here as well as far as locking the map into north, going into a 3D or a 2D mode. 3D mode just kind of tilts the map a little bit and kind of puts you in a mode where it looks like the map is more laid out in front of you. So I'm going to hit this button again down the left hand corner and I'm trying to change my video here so that it likes to pick up. You can see right here in this corner I'm pressing the very bottom button and that's getting me out of Navigo. Okay, we're going to continue on the training with the system to talk about the Pecos button that we have right here. On the Pecos button is where we're going to do our trips. Pressing the Pecos button is going to be similar to, if you're used to the classic, pressing the down arrow. Basically, we'll press the Pecos button and it would bring us into our trips. I don't have any trips in the system right now, so I'm going to assign some trips so that we can hit the Pecos button.